Hey there. My name is Aśka. That is spelled ASKA, but there's a little line above the letter S which gives it that special sh sound. I'm a visual storyteller and a science communicator, which basically means that I tell stories with pictures. And I love science and talking about it. I mean, who doesn't? So far, I've had 10 books published, and these include middle grade, picture books, and my favorite medium, comics and graphic novels. I also do a lot of drawing for the school magazine, so go and ask your school library if they get it, and you can check them out. I have drawn and designed hundreds of characters, and I believe that what brings a character to life truly is their actions. How do they move on the page? So what are their facial expressions? And what are they doing with their arms and their legs? Today we will be drawing Alice, a character from this book, The Cosmic Adventures of Alice and Bob, which I made with the amazing fellow science communicator, Christy Byrne. And we are going to go through really quick few poses for Alice to bring them to life. Now, if you haven't seen the book, here are some of the images of Alice from the comic. Alice the school kid, Alice the scientist, Alice the maker of things, and Alice the time traveler. What you will need today is the following: some A4 paper. Doesn't have to be brand new, it can be recycled. And some markers. I suggest a light color like yellow and a dark one like black. That's right, I am saying let's throw out our pencils for today. No erasing allowed. I really want us to try to use lines that we cannot erase. This makes drawing kind of like an adventure sport. You know, like using a skateboard to jump off a roof of a house. It will force you to draw bigger. It will make your lines bolder or more brave, and it will add a lot of energy to your drawings. So if you normally get a little bit nervous and use a pencil and eraser, I would encourage you to treat this as a science experiment. Give it a go and then see what the results are like. We are going to draw Alice whilst they're working on a project. This project is not going very well though. Things are very difficult and Alice is getting really frustrated. Let's pause here and have a think about what does your body do when you are angry? I would like you to close your eyes and pretend you're really angry and then feel your body. Okay, let's do that right now. Close your eyes, squint your face, make an angry expression and an angry body. First of all, your face. There's a lot of tension right here where your eyebrows are pointing between your eyes and your forehead, right? That's where you're scrunching up your face. This is important. When you think about your body as a whole, do you think you're bending backwards or forwards? I think it's more forwards for me, and I definitely hold a lot of tension here. My elbows are making sharp shapes, and so are my knees. This is what we're going to need to draw Alice. Well, we've just talked about how the body feels when we're angry. And we talked about being bent forward and holding a lot of tension. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my light pen. I'm going to choose orange because yellow might be hard to see in this video, but yellow is okay to use at home. So what I've drawn here is kind of a bean shape. It's a bent over forward bean. It doesn't really matter if you get this shape perfectly right, but you want a bend. Okay, we don't want it to be standing straight up. Now, if you don't see the shape yet of Alice being angry, that's cool. I'm going to show you what happens next. Is first we add one leg. Remember we said that Alice would be standing with the legs on the ground and they'd be bent and they'd be making sharp angles. So that's our two legs. And if you recall, we talked about the elbows making quite sharp shapes as well. So I'm going to have one angry elbow here and the other one up here. This is enough to get us started. From this point on, I'm going to start drawing Alice, the character, with my dark pen. Now let's start with Alice's face. What does an angry face look like? Well, we've talked about the tension in the eyebrows and in the forehead. So let's start with the outline of the face. Alice has quite a square face. It's almost like a square with rounded corners. So it's like a U, a squarish U. That's what I'm drawing here. And you can see I've put her head quite far into that bean character because the bean is defining the body. And we want to stick the head on top of that. Now, the angry eyebrows are very important in our angry expression. I would make those lines nice and thick. And draw your eyeballs as circles coming from underneath the eyebrows. This will create an extra angry look. You can point these little pupils one way, little dots. For the nose, we're just going to go with an upside down question mark because Alice is looking this way. And of course, we want a skull. Ugh, she's not happy. A little ear here and a little ear there. Okay, how are we going to turn this bean with sticks into Alice's body? Let's start with the arms. When you're angry and you're hunching forward, we don't see your neck. So we're going to start the arms, the shoulders, right at Alice's head. Don't worry about the neck. And this is where those lines will help us. I'm going to go for the outside of the line, and then I'm going to go the inside to make it nice and thick. Again, don't worry too much if your lines are too long, too short, or are pointing in slightly wrong directions. It's all just going to add character and personality to your drawing. At the end of each hand, we're going to draw a little thumb, just kind of like a little sausage, and then a bunch of W's, W, W. And there you go, there's a little fist. So we've got a thumb and a W, W. Angry, angry fists. This is really coming together now. We've got this nice hunch forward. So let's follow the inner line and show you where the leg should be. So I think the leg should come out here, and I'm going to use this line as the inside of the leg. So I'm going to follow this around, go outside, make a nice thick line, and then follow in. And at the bend there, I'm going to make a little kink and come back up. Now, we don't have to make this low curve here, Alice's bum, because it would be way too low, wouldn't it? But if that's what you've drawn, that's okay. Maybe she's wearing a nappy. We'll draw this round edge here, and I'm going to draw her bum around there. Draw the line down, a little kink, and bring it up here. And check this out. We have a bent forward shape of Alice that we've drawn from that bean and the sticks. Again, you can have the sticks in the middle, on the side. They're just there to help you make the decision when you are drawing the final character. Alice has very characteristic goggles on. I will start with like a wonky W shape, and then I'm going to collect it in a smooth way on top. Inside, I'm going to follow this line, but I'll break it a little bit so it looks not as important. When you are drawing lots of lines together, sometimes the drawing can get lost. Hair. Hair can be angry too. You are the boss of your drawing and everything can have personality, including the character's hair. So here I'm going to add the ponytail, which is basically some sharp shapes, and they could be quite knotted and angry looking. Alice is not happy. What about the rest of the clothes? Well, Alice is wearing suspenders. So we'll start here with two sausage shapes that are following the curve of the body. Sausage shape 1 and 2. And they have circles at the end, that's the buttons. Suspenders usually have this flap at the front, and that flap then goes down, maybe in this way. You might find some other way to draw suspenders, and I'm sure it's correct as well. We're just having fun. I'm going to draw a t-shirt. All you do for that is draw a line, and you could draw a little neckline there, but it might be invisible as well.
So this is pretty much Alice's overalls. Now she is wearing a tool belt in the book because she's always making things. The easiest way to draw a tool belt is let's just draw a flat line across there and another one here. And then we're going to open this up a little bit by going down, making a pouch-like shape. And don't worry about the line there. It's just part of our drawing. Make sure that we know it's a tool belt. I'll stick out something that looks a little bit like a mallet or a hammer or whatever tool you want to use. And then you can just draw some random shapes that no one really knows what they are, but they look important. So we've got some circles, some square things, maybe some tubes sticking out. You can even have a bit sticking over the brim. And there you go. This looks like a tool belt. Could even add a little bit of dots. Looks a bit like a seam or some studs. Or a little belt to actually make it a tool belt. Get creative. There's no rules when you draw. You can make up your own rules. But we haven't finished yet. Alice has to stand on the ground very, very steadily because when you're angry, you're basically keeping your balance. So I will draw Alice's shoes as triangles. One will be over here, kind of like a trapeze, I suppose, and a little half circle shape here. And then another shoe over here. Half circle. You can add a sole to the shoes by adding another line. Make them look more funky. You can add some cool shoelaces. And if you know what shoes you want, you might even want to add some special drawings and lines all over them. Up to you. If you want to bring this up a little bit more, you could even draw steam coming out of Alice's ears. She's seriously mad. And the most important thing, I think, is to draw the ground so that we know that this character is nice and level. There we go. That's Angry Alice. I will stop the video here for a second so that you can catch up with any other little bits and pieces that you're still working on. And when you're finished, start the video again and get to the next bit.
Alice was a bit upset in our previous drawing, but Alice is a real scientist. So they didn't just give up when things didn't work out. They persevered, they learned from their mistakes and kept on going and working on their project. Eventually, things started to turn around and are going well. So now Alice is extra excited after all this hard effort they've put in. What does it feel like in your body when you're really, really happy? Let's do the same experiment as before. Let's close our eyes and pretend we've just won the lotto. Woohoo! What happens? Well, we have a big smile on our face. What does the smile do? If it's really big, it closes our eyes, right? So our eyes close, our smile pushes the face up, and the body, it's not hunched forward, it bends backwards and opens up to the world. You open your arms and you really welcome the future because you're happy and excited. This is what we will need to draw Alice jumping with joy. And we'll start in the same way as before.
Now the bean. So because Alice is happy and they will be bending backwards, I am going to draw the bean up here, bending backwards like this. That's my initial shape. Alice is also jumping, so I'll have one leg here and one leg a little bit higher. We talked about the arms being open when you're happy. So I will pull out one arm this way and the other one that way. And we've got our happy bean shape. This is perfect for drawing Alice with. Again, we will start with Alice's head, just somewhere on the top of the bean here. And as you recall, it was a rounded square or a kind of a U shape that's squarish, with ears quite low down. What about the features of the face when you're happy? Well, we talked about the big smile, and the smile is so big that it closes your eyes. You know, your eyes are squinting with happiness. So we'll have little arcs here. And we'll draw eyebrows on top. Remember, Alice had nice thick eyebrows. We're going to push them all the way up the face. And an upside down question mark once more for that nose. We left a lot of space for the smile here. So my smile will be nice and open. And I'm just going to draw a little bit of teeth. Not too much. And I sometimes draw a little tongue or something like that. Occasionally I will also fill in just half of this shape. And it makes it look more like it's in perspective. It's a bit of a visual illusion. When we are jumping, we can see the character's neck, not like before where the character was kind of squatting. So let's draw a little neck around this thick and then follow our curves to help with our arms. I'm going to follow one curve here, then make it nice and thick. The other one here, and make it nice and thick. You can see I'm not exactly following the lines, but it's close enough. And it's just, the orange shape is just to help me. It's not to tell me exactly what to do. You are the boss of your drawing, so you get to make all the decisions. With the hands, we want them open when you're happy. So we've got just drawing little sausages going up and down, up and down, up and down until you get 5. And then you just come back to the beginning. Again, if your sausages are a little bit wonky and different sizes, don't worry. It will add some really cool character and personality to your drawing. It'll make it dynamic and fun. So here we have the upper part of the body. Now I'm going to follow this curve for Alice's rest of the body. You see, I'm not actually going all the way to the bean because that'll be a bit too thick, but I'm following that shape. It's helping me to guide my line. Now, Alice's bottom will end higher, just like before. That's the way I think it will look better. And I might start her leg a bit earlier. Do a little kink there in the fold, the back of the knee, and follow it down. The front of the leg will be somewhere here. And then the other leg, I might start it all the way up here and guide it there. Whew. Decisions. Very similar to before. We are making legs of equal thickness and kind of joining them around there. Remember, all these things, they don't have to be perfect. It'll still work, no matter how you've kind of composed this together. Let's go back to Alice's head and finish the goggles. Remember, that was a bit of a wonky W shape. And the inside line, not as perfect, just to show some thickness. What does happy hair look like? Well, you can kind of think of it as a big smile. So that's one option. But if you can think of another option for happy hair, do it right now. Just following all those lines around and making the hair bounce with joy. Remember Alice's suspenders? There were 2 big sausages at the front with circles at the end for buttons. And then I draw the flap of the suspenders. Alice's shoes were kind of trapeziums or triangular shapes, where I've got the top half circle and straight line there. I'm going to draw the sole of the shoe and some shoelaces. Same as before. Oh, maybe you can change the shoes. This is your time to experiment, so I would encourage you to try something wacky and crazy. One more thing we need, of course, is Alice's tool belt, which has been featured before. So we'll draw one line all the way across and a little bit out. The other line will be parallel just for a little bit, but then it comes down into a pouch-like shape. From this pouch, we had something that looked like a mallet or a hammer, just a square on a stick, basically. And then remember we had some random shapes like circles and squares and strange tubes. It doesn't really matter. As long as people know it's a tool belt, they'll guess that they're tools I had some little studs before, and I also had a little belt. So it's just 2 lines with a line horizontal, and it suddenly looks like a belt buckle. Now, what you could do just to finish this all off is to draw the ground, so we know that Alice is jumping. And if you want, you could draw a little shadow here, but just drawing a dark squiggle. Straight away, Alice is lifting off the ground. You could even add motion lines, squiggle lines, joy lines. Possibilities are endless. But you can see how, using this light orange bean shape, we've created the movement that Alice is doing with her body. Now is a good time to pause this video and catch up with any of the bits that you yet to do. And you can then look at this picture at the same time.
So now you have 2 versions of Alice, and you can draw many more versions with different emotions using the same technique. Test it on yourself first, think about what your body is doing, then use a light pen to draw the bean with that general emotion, and then use a dark pen to draw your character, either Alice or someone else. Thanks so much for joining me to draw. It's been really fun. If you would like to check out more of Alice and Bob's Cosmic Adventures, then a full free version of this comic is available online right now. All you need to do is go to the link below or to my website. On my website, you can also find news about my other books and projects. So my friends, keep up the amazing work. Keep your drawing alive, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.